YouTube land, and welcome to part 3 of my Criterion overview and discussion. And I just got a few to do, so I'll be able to maybe take a little more time with these here. And I did leave some of the best for last, so if you were one of the people that actually made it through the first two and are here for the third one, congratulations, because you're going to see some of the greats here now. And the first one up is my recent one that I got for Father's Day. That's fantastic, Mr. Fox. Oh, I love this movie. Wes Anderson did a great job. It's a Roald Dahl film. Based on his book. There's a great feature here on Mr. Dahl himself. I've been a long-time fan of his. As some people on here know, that's what I got. One of the things I got my daughter for Christmas was the Dahl box set, like of books, actual books. Yes, books, people, so that she could read and the different stuff that he did. Some amazing novels. I'm a really big fan, and I really encourage reading it with my kids because in order to understand and truly love media the way that I do, you have to have a basis for it. You have to be able to look back at some of the great literature that came along and molded and just brought us where we are today. And you can't get all of that. You can watch as many movies as you want if you don't have if you don't go back to get a knowledge or reading basis with it, which I strongly encourage. Read. You will understand and you will love these movies even more when you do. And it doesn't matter what. You read the newspaper, read a book. Just take some time out, even just once a week, and just take an hour or so and just let yourself go into a different land and read. But there's a little tangent. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I really recommend this one. It's a really great film. It's number 700 in the Criterion collection and favorite of mine. Next up is one that is not for everybody, and I'm not going to make any bones about it. You have to like this group in order to buy this one here. If you don't, pass on it because it's not going to be your type of thing. And that's the Beastie Boys. I think it's their video anthology here, right? It's a really, I think it's a really cool set. It's got some great stuff, but you have to be a Beastie Boys fan. Honestly, guys, if you're not a fan of the Beastie Boys, if this is not your style of music, maybe the Monterey Pop Festival would be. I definitely want to get that one down the road. That has some great artists on it. But I got this one for a really good price. Could not pass it up. I'm a fan of the Beastie Boys. Grew up with this stuff. Love the fact that they actually evolve their music as they go through. And just some incredible stuff. If you're a fan of the Beastie Boys, definitely it's a really solid presentation. Great one to pick up. If you're not a fan of the Beastie Boys, this is not going to make you a fan. Buy what you like. That's the most important thing I can tell you right here. When you're looking at this Criterion stuff, some of the stuff is pretty expensive, so buy what you like. Classic time, and this is probably the best of the Hitchcocks that they put out. That is The Man Who Knew Too Much, the original. There is a 50s version of this film. It's pretty good. I mean, it's got Doris Day and Jimmy Stewart. It's shot in Morocco, or my better half's home of Marrakesh, and Casablanca. Which was really great. But this one here is the original one, and it's a better film. It's edited way more tightly than the remake is a bit of a letdown for me. Although it's a cool little film, and I love the scenes in Morocco. The remake is a very commercial film, and it's very un-Hitchcock in certain ways. The Man Who Knew Too Much was an earlier British Hitchcock film, and Pierre Lorre's the villain in this one here. It's a very tightly paced film. It has one of the best portrayals of a female character in any film a Hitchcock brought on. The female character in this one here actually is a strong character. The wife in this one is very strong. It's not the Doris Day kind of character from the remake or any of that. There's a very strong female character in this one here, and some people may not have liked that back in the time because this was a different time. We had a lot more sexism and stuff around then. But there's some great stuff here. There's an interview with Del Toro on here. Del Toro does a lot of stuff with Criterion, and I would love to go to the Criterion closet someday. So Criterion, if you're out there, I would love to be able to raid that closet. And I'm not a big famous director or actor like everybody else that's been on there, Bill Hader and the Toro and people like that. But I would love to raid the Criterion closet, and I would definitely make good use of it. Next up is my favorite, actually one of my favorite Criterions of all time, one of my favorite movies of all time. And if you like noir films, then you know what I'm going to say, because you probably watched my channel for a bit and you've heard me talk about this one quite a bit. And it's Robert Aldrich's film, Kiss Me Deadly. I love this film. It is an amazing film. Right from the opening, it catches you right away. Ralph Meeker does a fantastic job. And what's in the glowing suitcase? Well, you got to find out. It's a really cool film. Has some great features. There is an amazing feature on Mickey Spillane himself, of course, the writer of My Camera. And Ralph Meeker does play a fantastic My Camera in this. It's a great addition. I love the booklet here. Done very much like the old school pulp thrillers that were done in the day. Really strongly, highly recommend this film. Did I kind of whistle there? Kiss Me Deadly is a fantastic movie. Great Blu-ray presentation. Great features. Love this film. Strongly, highly recommend it. It's an amazing film. Next up is another one by one of my favorite directors. And I'm going to let something out right now. When I ordered my Arrow stuff, I said I ordered a director that I really admire. And I think that's highly underrated. And this Criterion is from that director. And the movie is Blowout from De Palma. De Palma is an amazing director that basically gets lost because of his fascination with Hitchcock. People just say, well, he ripped off Hitchcock here and there. But De Palma has his own unique style. And he knows how to weave his love of other works into his films and still have a really fantastic visual style. He knows how to make a film. He knows how to create suspense. And that's lost on some people when they go for the Hitchcock comparison, is that he knows how to create and build suspense. De Palma is amazing with that. And Blowout is a fantastic film. The killer in this is chilling. Of course, Nancy Allen's in this one. She was with De Palma at the time. And of course, we have John Travolta in, my thought, is his best role. I know he's in Pulp Fiction and all those movies and Who's Talking, but this is my favorite role from John Travolta. It's a very different film. It has a chilling ending, and it is incredible. I love the opening of this film. One of my favorite openings of any films, and if you watch it, it's kind of fun. You'll see why. It would kind of be thrown back a bit in Body Double, which is an incredible movie that really needs a really great Blu-ray representation. I really think it does. There's a second film on this, the 1967 feature Murder Out of Mode. I think William Finley, I think, is in that one. And just some very great stuff. I'm trying to do this, and I'm getting like birthday, notifications coming up on my iPad. It's driving me to the wall. This is another one that I just thought was amazing. I didn't know a lot going into this one. I'd seen it like part of it before, but I hadn't seen the whole thing. And that was Sweet Smell of Success. A great one. It's got a fantastic cover right there. It's just amazing the way it's done. I love Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis, two fantastic actors and two underrated actors. The script for this film, the way they talk, the way it's shot, it is so nice to see something like this. Great music in this one here, by the way, and definitely worth checking out. I thought it was a fantastic film. Great documentary on here as well. This beautifully shot, beautifully rendered. I love the way this is done. Very cynical film, very cool, very cold, very calculated film, and I loved it. Next up is the one that if you're just starting your Criterion collection, this is the one to start with, and that is Night of the Hunter. Night of the Hunter is just an amazing movie. One of the greatest films ever made, in my humble opinion. And it is number 541 in the Criterion collection, and I'm surprised it wasn't number 1. This was an amazing film. Charles Laughton's only directorial film. I mean, Robert Mitchum is chilling in this movie here. The stark contrast between the way that the film is shot, the angles that things are done at, the framing of the film, just the amazing acting, the story, the characters, the score of the film, just the way that everything is done, just so cold and calculated, just like the killer in the film itself. There's a great cast in this one. We got Robert Mitchum, James Gleason. We have Peter Graves in a small role here as well, of course. And I have to say, Lillian Gish, of course, the silent film star, and of course Shelley Winters herself. It is an amazingly tragic a role in this film here. Great movie, just amazing stuff. There is an awesome documentary on here, well, like 2.5 hour long, basically making of. It's really, really cool. If you don't have this movie, I really strongly recommend it. This image is just iconic for the film, and there's so many iconic images in Night Hunter that, you know, it just blows me away. It's just an amazing, amazing film. Next up is one that I personally enjoyed, and it's one of the newer ones in the Criterion collection. And by newer, it's about almost 20 years old now, I guess. But it's getting there. That is Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused is a fun film. It's got a great soundtrack of some amazing 70s stuff. I like Richard Linklater, and I just thought this was a great film. Great features on this one here. I love the box, the way this is done. If you're a fan of Dazed and Confused, this really is the only way to have this film. It's an incredibly fun film. You either like it or you don't. But sometimes it's nice to have something that's not so serious and it's kind of really fun. And this is a really fun film. Matthew McConaughey, his role in this film, creepy and sleazy, but amazingly cool. And last but not least, one of my all-time favorites, and that is David Cronenberg's Videodrome. I really like this film. It's trippy. It's not for everybody, but Videodrome has just such weird, freaking visuals, such really cool stuff. There's some amazing work on here. Of course, we got James Woods, Sonia Smits, who's a Canadian actress. We've got Debbie Harry on here as well. Just some really cool stuff. Special effects by who did the special effects in this one? Was it Rick Baker? Yeah, it was Rick Baker. I love this movie. I love there's commentaries in this. There's a short film by Cronenberg called Camera. There's a half-hour long documentary on the making of the film. There's just some incredible stuff. Fear on Film, a roundtable discussion from 1982 with Cronenberg and filmmakers John Carpenter, John Landis, and Mick Garris. So if you are a fan of horror, you want to check out Fear on Film. It's on this here. Really cool little roundtable discussion about horror, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie. I was so excited when I finally got this, and I love the look of the case. Kind of like looking like a VHS case, kind of more of a beta case, really. It's got the beta look to it. But again, those are my Criterions. I hope you guys really enjoyed that, because I enjoyed bringing that to you guys. Maybe that helps you guys choose some Criterions in the upcoming sale. I hope so. Let me know what you're thinking about getting. I know that one guy in here is going to get the Zatachi set. I'm thinking about getting that one myself, but there's just so much great stuff. It's hard to choose. Thanks for watching, guys. My tea's going to get cold, so I got to get to it. So for me right now, it is time for tea.